Our story today begins with a small explanation because adults constantly told the main character that as soon as he enters the university, he can play CSGO as much as he wants. And not only in CSGO, when he enters, he will be able to do anything at all. In short, typical parents. Perhaps after he enters university, he will be able to find himself a girl who he will definitely like. Blindly believing in what adults told him, the guy constantly studied even despite his fatigue. Thanks to the fact that he tried so hard, he managed to enter exactly the university he wanted, and at that moment he actually saw the results and shouted to his mother about what he had passed. But it goes without saying that everything cannot be exactly the way he wants. The reality turned out to be completely different. At first he was afraid to enter the office while everyone else had already found companies in which to communicate. In his opinion, the Faculty of Computer Engineering is a real dump where completely clean people come. There were a huge number of beautiful girls on campus, but of course none of them were close to the boy. Why the hell did he just start to panic because he didn't know any of the local ladies? He was so sad and lonely. One of the guys thought that it was going to rain, but the main character didn't think so. Next, we are shown the corridors and a conversation between a guy and a girl. Appa seems to have refused to use the thing she gave him. Apparently, she gave him some grapefruit-flavored perfume, but apparently he definitely doesn't like that smell. Give him a like if you also hate that smell. He uses other perfumes with a cooler taste, and the girl likes them even better. So far, the main character just had to sit on the bench and think about how much he envies that cute couple, because a typical Dota player will never have a girlfriend. Now it's May, which means that the festival will start soon, and judging by what he sees, many guys have already managed to find a partner to go there. Now he begins to wonder what he is doing wrong. One day when he just entered the university, he asked his father the reason why he could not find a girlfriend. Then he simply said in response that the best solution would be to just be himself, and then the girls themselves would run after him in droves. But for now, it was best for him to focus on his studies. Of course, his advice did not work, and from that moment on, trust in my father simply disappeared. Instead of just wasting his time, the main character decides it's better to go and read something. If he continues to constantly think about it, he will become even more unhappy. So it's better to study for now so as not to think about it. At home, he sat in front of his laptop and thought about the fact that theater has a long history, but theatrical productions are surprisingly short. The theater appeared in the 19th century in Germany, and then the main character decides to tell us even more interesting facts about the theater. But they came here for something completely different. Although in fact the lesson was taught by this beautiful lady, it's even hard to believe that she worked as an ordinary teacher. The guy had exactly the same opinion as the author of this video. He's a good guy. He couldn't believe that a girl could look so beautiful only from wearing a shirt. For a minute, he even imagined that he could become her boyfriend and tried to understand what it would be like to be with such a beautiful girl. Why the hell the video started to come to life, and now the lady turned her attention to the main character. She even started laughing at the main character. By the way, his name is Ji Woo. She didn't understand why he couldn't concentrate on the lesson, but if he was so interested, she would be happy to show him how to play poker correctly. Damn it. The thoughts in his head seemed to be in reality, and now the boy was simply in the same room with the girl. Well, the lady asked if Ji Woo wanted them to start playing poker as soon as possible, and she would show him secret techniques on how to win constantly. Since the main character agrees, she will only be happy to teach him secret techniques, so let him look more carefully. After showing such an incredible combination of cards, the girl asked if he liked playing poker in a completely new way. She thought she looked just great, but maybe now the guy just wants to try playing poker with her. Of course he agrees. She also agrees but warns him that she has never played poker in real life, so don't let him behave like a real master. Damn it. But the main character turns out to be a real idiot who doesn't listen to her at all. And then she decides that they can play a game that is much better than poker, but the main character is even more surprised by this turn of events. Various card games were tried, and now they finally found the one he liked. But they quickly finished the first round, which made the lady a little shocked. It was immediately obvious that the main character began to play much better than before. Most likely this is because he had an excellent teacher, so now they are returning to playing poker. And then Ji Woo decides to make an unexpected move, and immediately begins to attack. Apparently the boy has learned a secret technique. After they continued, the main character began to call her Nuna, and she herself was sure that the boy liked her. He decides to confirm her words by saying that in fact he really liked her, and after this poker game he would like to start dating her. But he still decides to warn her that now he has strong cards and will soon deal a crushing blow, but she doesn't seem to care at all and asks for a crushing defeat. In reality, the main character was so glad that he found all these lessons. But still, he decided to think about the fact that he was behaving incorrectly as soon as he saw the professor. The next day they show us the guys who are advertising a new place. During the day it is a cafe and in the evening it is a bar. The lady was trying to attract customers so that they would buy fruit juice from them. Our boy decided that the best solution would be to look around for now, and when evening came, he would go to the bar. Suddenly, some girls approached him and said that they had come from the theater and cinema club. If suddenly the main character doesn't mind, then they invite him to watch a new play that they themselves staged. It starts at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. But the boy did not at all expect that he would soon be invited to watch some kind of play. Let him not worry, because admission to the event was completely free. He pretended to carefully examine the leaf, but at the same time thought that the girl was very beautiful, and most likely they were the same age. It seemed to him that one of all these dramas that he had already seen, maybe it was because they were from a theater club. Meanwhile, the ladies just looked at the boy and waited for an answer from him, and he just thought about the fact that they were very beautiful. Of course, he ultimately agrees to their invitation because he cannot miss such a performance. The girls went on distributing leaflets and asked the boy to definitely come to them. Their club is famous for its plays, so he can't miss such a spectacle. The girl smiled at him so much that the main character didn't even know what to say in response. He just stood there and thought that she was very nice. After all the classes at the university were over, he came to that same hall and couldn't believe that he looked so cool. Everything was so unusual here, and the main character was in such a cool place for the first time. Of course, he knows absolutely nothing here and is trying to navigate only by what is written on that piece of paper. We are met by two ladies who sell food and drinks. One of them is clearly tired from work and the second is full of joy. The main character decided that he should get himself a snack. The ladies thanked him for the purchase and wished him a good time at the play. Damn it, there are so many people here, the guy can't even get through normally. Finally, a miracle happened, and now he was able to calmly find his place. Now nothing will definitely spoil his impression of the film. He was simply amazed at the fact that there were such a large number of people here. It seemed that those guys were really popular. Popcorn and a drink cost him a whopping 7,000 won, which was too expensive for a student, but at least the performance itself was free. Damn it, this is Coca-Cola Zero, how can you even drink this because it's sugar-free? Still, he thought that those two girls were incredibly beautiful. Most likely all the beauties from the university had gathered here, and maybe he would be lucky and be able to meet someone. The time was already approaching 3 o'clock, so the hall should have been filled by now. And finally, some girl begins to appear on stage, which means that the play has already begun. But by the way, as soon as she came out, all the guys started saying that she was a student of the club and she was incredibly beautiful. Our boy was no exception, and said that she was much more beautiful than all the other participants. The girl herself decided to introduce herself. Her name is Hannah L., and she is the president of the University Theater and Cinema Club. The play that her club staged is called Cancerous Love, and she hopes that they will enjoy watching it. Thank you all very much in advance for coming. But everyone still did nothing but talk about her beauty. But the main character sat and could not understand, since when celebrities gather in such a club, Hannah was simply charming. Well, she hopes everyone enjoys their performance today, and thank you all in advance, by the way. Give it a like if you think Hannah is beautiful. While everyone was clapping, the lights in the hall turned off and a lady we don't know appeared on the stage. The main character was looking forward to the start of events because the first act of the play was beginning. Which couple just talked on stage and looked as if they were really dating? Her phone was constantly ringing. She was terribly angry because all she wanted was just to be with her boyfriend, because they were already the same age. But the main character is really having fun. In his opinion, Emily was very beautiful, and also played her role well. Most romance dramas focus on the girl's feelings for the guy, and in his opinion, this was a real cliché. In addition, the play is called Cancerous Love, but in his opinion, everything was too calm. Maybe there will be some unusual plot twist. Meanwhile, Emily herself was preparing behind the scenes and trying to convince herself that everything would work out for her. The time had just come to get out as quickly as possible. The girl went on stage to the guy and asked what happened to him. She was so worried that something could happen to him, how he generally felt. The boy immediately jumped out of bed and started coughing, saying that Sun Young had finally arrived. She asked him not to strain himself, but rather to just conserve his strength. Maybe just buy him something light so that he could eat. Of course, he would not refuse such an offer. The girl was simply looking for ways in which she could still help her Appa and let him address her exactly as he wanted. But the boy immediately lowered his head and said that there was only one thing she could do for him. Suddenly, for some reason, Appa just got out of bed and took her hand. What the hell is he doing? Because this definitely wasn't in the script. But he again took her hand and pulled her to the side. She definitely did not expect such a turn of events. All the same, the lady also comes out of character and asks what he is doing. This is definitely not according to the script. Damn it, he's kinda crazy. He says that it's all the girl's fault because she refused to accept his feelings. Of course, Emily is scared because of the guy and asks him to stop behaving like that on stage. But will this help? The guy continued and is clearly going to play checkers, but the girl asks not to play board games on stage. Although it was too late, the guy decided to open the playing field, and now everyone will see that they are playing checkers. The main character's popcorn gradually began to run out, but he definitely didn't regret coming to this performance. It's simply incredible, and now he'll definitely watch the play to the end. Damn it, he really opened up the playing field. Now the boy understood why so many people came here. So far, Emily simply asked that Sunbae not play checkers right now, because the whole room was looking at them. But the main character was only thinking about the fact that he was sitting too far away to see anything. Meanwhile, this idiot still continues to say that the girl is to blame for everything, although it is unclear what she did to him. Gradually, the game of checkers begins to go too far. The main character is generally shocked that board games were allowed to be shown right on stage at the university. While the boy was simply shocked by what he saw, this guy simply said that she should have accepted his feelings, and then this would not have happened. Damn it! Damn it! Emily didn't even think that the performance could change like that, after which the lights in the room went out for a while, and then they showed the guy who said that he regretted what happened to Emily. From that moment on, he never saw her again. While he was there telling all this, the main character simply thought that such an ending could definitely save the dull plot. And what happens in the end, is it really that the main character of the play was just put in prison for playing checkers? Everyone started clapping immediately after the lights on the stage went out, but our boy couldn't understand if this was really the end. The girl next to the main character thought that it was impossible to play checkers in a place like a theater, much less open the playing field. But since they did this, it means it's possible. Our boy just thought that their game was definitely on the level. He couldn't even imagine that colleges could stage such great plays. He didn't even feel sorry for the money spent. The entire cast began to gather on stage, which meant that the curtain would soon be coming. The main character is even a little jealous of these guys. So much applause after hard work, in his opinion it was the best. While everyone was bowing, the boy noticed something strange because the main character never came on stage. He would also like to join this club. Maybe he could also try and become an actor. Although the time has already ended and it is time to leave the hall. And here again is our main character who wondered if he would succeed. Usually clubs accept applications only at the beginning of the semester. And in general, he doesn't even know where to go to submit his application. The girl, meanwhile, was just sitting and discussing the fact that their friend had recently gone to some new cafe with her boyfriend. It turns out that the friend didn't even know that she had a boyfriend named Sung-hoon. Of course, the guy was attracted to this conversation. It seems that he found those he needs to contact. Now it was clear why she watched those training videos on checkers. She wanted to gain experience so she could quickly play checkers with her boyfriend. Their entire incredible conversation is interrupted by the main character because he has an urgent matter: how to join the theater club. Of course, the girls did not expect his appearance, and the girl with black hair realized that an awkward situation was about to happen. How shocked she is now. She can't even believe what the main character just said. He urgently needed to join a theater club and was looking for a place where he could submit the completed form. This was all very cool, of course, but their club only accepts applications at the beginning of the semester, so you'll have to wait for a while. Of course, all her friends immediately began to support her, saying that the acceptance of applications ended in April. What a disappointment. Now he will have to wait until next semester. Girl who announced the start of the performance came to them and called all the girls. She made a very serious expression on her face and asked why the hell they were shirking cleaning. Of course, they all immediately began to worry that the boss was going to scold them, so they immediately changed the topic to the fact that that guy over there wants to join the club. While she was thinking about what kind of guy they were talking about, the boy instantly appeared in front of her and loudly declared that he wanted to join the theater club. Of course, he has a lot of zeal, but the club boss herself did not expect that such a person would want to join them. No matter how surprising it was, the girl said the same thing as everyone else: the set was already finished. Of course, he understood this, but he really wanted to join them. Perhaps it was possible to make some kind of exception. In response, the boss simply looked at him carefully and seemed to evaluate what he was capable of. Meanwhile, he looked at her and thought only that the girl was too beautiful. Of course, she noticed his gaze and then decided to make a decision, because such a loser could easily be taken advantage of. Of course, she appreciates enthusiasts like him, but let the boy also understand that it won't be possible to take just anyone. She can make an exception once and arrange an entrance test, especially for him. Let the main character arrive at the hall at about 5 o'clock, where his entrance test will be conducted. Of course, he will happily come and say thank you very much for such a chance, but he still doesn't know what has been prepared for him. The other girls were simply shocked that the boss made such an exception. Why did she suddenly decide to take the guy? But these two guys observed a completely different situation. It seems this is connected with what happened on stage. So, Yan just sat on the floor and cried, and the guy asked for forgiveness to her. He didn't do it all on purpose, they just changed the scene at the very last moment. It seems he was really ashamed of what he did. Apparently there was no need to play checkers right on stage. The actions are transferred to exactly 2 hours ago. At that moment, a girl with gray hair was just playing checkers with someone. Yes, it turns out that this is the guy who asks for forgiveness. His name is Chi-Ho. During a game of checkers, the girl turned out to be a pretty tough opponent and asked if he might like to play checkers with her. Damn it, it's clear that he likes this game. Who could refuse to play checkers with such a beautiful girl? Of course, the situation is simply incredibly strange. Why would she play checkers with such a loser like him and even try so hard? Of course, she did this for a reason, but so that in the future the boy would help his Nuna do something. Still, he is still not sure that he is ready to help her. Then she said that it is weak for him to help her. He does not want to seem weak in front of his Nuna. Well, if that's the case, she's not going to play checkers with him anymore either. But he asked her to wait. He asked to wait because he was almost able to win, but it seems that she has a completely different plan. Let the guy first agree to help her, and then she will think about whether to continue playing checkers with him or not. Of course, he would do absolutely everything to play checkers with her, but he had a condition. She had to start giving in to him. Well, what can't you do for a guy like him, of course? The game eventually continued. So be it, she will only allow him to win this game if he helps her. Damn it. This guy is just crazy because he really agreed to help for an ordinary game of checkers. It seems that he is completely bad at communicating with girls. The game was soon to end and the boy warned her about it. While he was just sitting and rejoicing that he was able to win, the lady smiled like a real devil because now her plan would definitely work. After they cleared the field goodbye, the girl asked, because the boy definitely wouldn't let her down, of course not. Afterwards, Nuna simply leaves and he remains sitting in the room all alone. But he immediately becomes sad because he begins to understand the seriousness of the situation. This idiot really agreed to play checkers with Su Yan right on stage, but he couldn't do that to his girlfriend. The actions come back and Su Yan still continued to cry. To this loud cry and asks what the hell happened here. Why is the entire cast playing the fool? And the guy himself was shocked that Sunbae came to them. She sent one of the guys away to help with costumes for the play, and then went to that same blonde guy. She of course was sure that he was a great guy, but still Nuna definitely didn't want him to do this. Damn it, it seems this lady decided to set him up, of course. He tried to deny everything, but out of excitement, he couldn't even say a word normally. Then what doesn't he understand in this situation? She really pretends as if it wasn't she who ordered him to play checkers with her. If suddenly he doesn't understand in a good way, then she will tell him differently. Let him quickly get out of here so that her eyes don't see him anymore. Now the boy finds himself in a simply terrible situation and wants to at least say something to Nuna. But she won't let him say anything and repeats that he should leave as soon as possible. Options but to agree and has to leave. Meanwhile, the plot continues to develop further, and the boss threw some kind of package next to her. It turns out that she went and bought new things for her, and even asked for forgiveness. Of course, the things were quite expensive, so she hopes that she will like it. But she was too offended by how she could even make such changes to the script and say absolutely nothing to her. But she still tries to explain to Su Young the fact that changes to the script appear for no reason. Doesn't she herself know that emergency changes to the script are the most standard procedure? It would be better for her to start taking the matter more seriously, because they need unusual scripts. These two guys listened to their conversation for a long time, but it seems that the time has come to leave. The boss continued to tell her about everything, and said that no one would like a boring romantic show about couples now, so she had to come up with something more interesting. The guys in the background, meanwhile, were trying to get away from here as quickly as possible because it had become too scary. After which she just started smiling like a real Satan and asked if Su Young really thinks that this will all end. Damn it. What does she even want from this poor girl? What harm has she done to her? But according to the boss, the fun was just beginning and then everything will become much worse than it is now. Finally, the festival ended, and our boy sat at his desk all excited. In class, he simply couldn't concentrate, and his classmate in the background couldn't understand what was happening to him. Just the thought that he could join a club that was full of beauties simply did not leave him. Maybe there he could find a girl that he would definitely like. The guys came up to invite him to play games, but the main character immediately refused, to which they called him a bore, because there are other people who would definitely agree. No matter how much they tried to persuade him, the boy still refused, saying that he had important things to do, but his facial expression was too strange. He urgently needed to go to that very hall, and he asked if the guys wanted to go with him and why should he go there. Since they are not going to go with him, they said goodbye and will see each other on Monday. Going to the hall, the main character thought only that he was too worried. Maybe something would go wrong. It seems that he has finally arrived. The excitement grew more and more. Just there, some lady with glasses was sitting and scrolling through her TikTok feed, and she was also surprised when someone came. So far, the boy didn't even dare to speak normally. And then the girl asked if he was going to take the test. Yes, of course, that's what he's here for. Surprisingly, this loser still manages to remember his name. Be back soon so he can look around for now. There was little joy from such indifference, but there was nothing to be done. You had to look around. There was nothing particularly interesting, and he still had to wait too long, but it seemed that she had finally arrived. As soon as she came in, she immediately asked for coffee because she was too thirsty. It seems she completely forgot that the main character was supposed to come to her and was surprised that he was already here. Instantly, he begins to shout that he is glad to welcome her again. In general, he had nothing to thank her for, and now she decided to introduce the vice president of the club. By the way, this is the girl with glasses. She asked if Ta Young would like to introduce herself to him, but the blonde clearly didn't seem to like him. With a terribly sad face, she simply says that she is the president of the club. In short, everything is the same as that lady said. It was nice to meet him too. His name is Chan Jae-woo, and he are studying to be engineers. She decided that there was no point in putting it off for a long time, and first she would like to look at the acting skills of the main character. Reacted strangely because it was too easy. Isn't she afraid that there might be indignation on the part of those who tried to enroll in the last intake? Of course, she is trying to calm the girl down because this is a special test that will simply test his acting abilities. But it seems that she had some kind of plan of her own. They already had too little time, so they and the main character are going to leave and let the blonde quickly bring the script from the last set. But the blonde already understood everything perfectly, because she needed another person whom she could manipulate, but this time she would not allow her to do this. The main character was given his script, and given only 10 minutes to read it. Ta Young was supposed to be the judge, but the president will take on the second role. Surprisingly, she still agrees and says that she doesn't mind helping with the test at all. Well, since everyone was ready, the scene began. The girl called the main character cute as if he were her husband, after which she asked him to turn around and for some reason open the field for checkers. Damn it! Why the hell did everything change so dramatically? These were the thoughts that were in the main character's head. She had just bought a new playing field and wanted to know how it was for him. Of course he was shocked and didn't even know what to tell him, and said that he really liked it. The girl told him that now there should be a scene with a kiss, after which he would have to continue his line, but he didn't really know what he was doing. Of course, it's too difficult for him to cope with this scene because the president was too beautiful and he can't kiss her so easily. Realizing that the boy is not coping, the blonde decides that it's time to stop this scene. Why the hell is he acting like a pillar on stage? Because the viewer will not be interested in looking at him at all. The main character asked for forgiveness and said that she would fix everything. He tries to calm down quickly, saying that this is the most ordinary game. As one actor said, acting directly depends on self-confidence, so you urgently need to get yourself together. Confidence? Confidence. Now the boy has completely convinced himself that he will succeed. If so, then he will definitely be able to overcome all his fears on stage. So far, the president was glad that he did not give up, and the blonde was shocked by him. But the next chapter begins with the boy losing all his self-confidence. The lady decided to use a forbidden technique in checkers, and now he definitely couldn't muster the strength to know how he should behave in this situation. He cannot concentrate while such a beautiful girl is next to him. How do other actors play their roles so calmly? Realizing that now the boy definitely won't get it together, the girl decides to stop the test and tells him to stop acting like he's crazy. Does this guy even understand what acting is? Because the main character just constantly looks at the checkers field and does absolutely nothing. Of course, he tries to deny everything, saying that in reality he is worried, and in his thoughts he tries to understand how she She simply asked the president if she was going to continue the test because, apparently, the boy was completely unsuitable for them. But she didn't understand at all the reason why she decided to stop trying out so soon. But this is exactly what the blonde means, because she herself said that acting talent is the most important thing that should be, but the main character did not have it at all. And now two girls have a conflict and they look at each other like real enemies. But she finds a way out. Probably the main character is worried that he is playing with her, so now his partner is a blonde. This ends the video. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel and like so that the new part comes out as soon as possible.